Hey friends, it's Shirley Bovshow with the Home and Family Show, and today I want to give you some tips on keeping your ficus indoor plant alive and thriving, and more than that, looking beautiful. Now, many of you are familiar with this green, glossy plant. You typically see it in offices, doctors' offices, maybe the mall, your house. There's also this ficus here. It's the same one. It's called Ficus Benjamina. And they've got these beautiful little droopy leaves that look really pretty. Sometimes you see these trained like braided trunks, like little trees. But here's what happens. Look at the floor. Yeah, you're probably looking at your ficus right now saying, my floor looks like that, Shirley. Well, you know, I want to explain to you why ficus seems to be fussy. It really isn't. It just needs a few specific things and it will look beautiful. But this is very common. Before I give you those tips, I want to show you the other plants in the ficus family that you have to care for in the same exact way. So you either have a Benjamina like this. Look at this beautiful rubber plant. Sometimes called, well, it is called the rubber plant because if you cut it, it has sap and latex that comes out of it. The elastica, then check this one out over here. It's the same thing. Comes in the white. Now this ficus is probably one of the fussiest ones you can find because usually the leaves end up looking like this. Uh-oh. All right, we'll get to that. And then there's a newer variety. This is a cultivar called alii. It's got these beautiful lance-shaped leaves, and this one is typically a little bit easier to care for than the Benjamina. And then who doesn't love the Fiddleleaf? Ficus lyrata. Yeah, that's really bold and beautiful. But it's not bold and beautiful when the leaves look like this. All right, friends, let's get down to brass tacks. The reason why many of you feel that your ficus is a little bit fussy is because it really is a plant that is alive and has specific needs. These plants are native to the tropics where it's nice and warm and there's plentiful sunshine. So when we bring them indoors, these are the things that are the most important factors so that you don't have leaf drop. Number one, you need to have your ficus, any of these, in a room that is at least 65 degrees. If it is colder than that, that will prompt leaf drop. Now, the leaf drop, sometimes you think, oh, I'm not watering it, or I'm giving it too much water, that's why the leaves are dropping. Understand this. Any change, we're talking any change to the situation where your ficus is in, could be different location, you move it. You might even just bring it from the garden center to your house. Changes cause it to drop leaves. It could be a change in temperature. It could be a change in lighting conditions. It could be a change in watering conditions. All of those things will prompt leaves to fall. So what you want to do, put your ficus in a room, not underneath a direct vent, but make sure it's in a nice warm room. 65, 75, 80 degrees, perfect. Now if it's under those 65 and 60, it just can't take the cold and it will adapt by shedding leaves. The other thing is it needs to be in a bright room. So as you can see here, I've got a bay window and I've got them here beautiful. They'll be bathed in light most of the day, but not direct sunlight. Direct sunlight will burn the edges of the leaf. The other thing is watering. You want to make sure that your ficus is watered when you touch it and you go, it's feeling a little dry. That's the time that you want to water it. And watch it. Make sure that the water comes out. If it stays in a saucer underneath, make sure it's not sitting in that saucer for like 30, 40 minutes. It's too much water. Remove it. So remember, let it dry a little bit, but not too much. And the last factor that affects a ficus that causes it to drop leaves is if you mess with it physically. For instance, if you repot it, the roots of the ficus are really aggressive. Those are alive. Have you ever seen a ficus tree in nature or outdoors? They're able to heave sidewalks. They grow so fast. So what happens is when you move a ficus from one place to the other, it is not happy. So let's just say that you have leaf drop today. Think about it. Have I been overwatering it? Underwatering it? Has that changed? Has the temperatures in the room changed? Are we not putting on the heater anymore? Is it like really cold in here? That's a problem. Is it still as sunny? You know, in the wintertime, there's less light available. You could supplement with some LED or fluorescent lights or grow lights. And then the other thing is, have you repotted it lately? And if you have, your plant will respond. You don't want your leaves to look like this, friends. And if this is happening, I will tell you very quickly what's going on. This is your Fiddleleaf. Here's your central vein. Remember, water comes into your leaf and it disperses it throughout. But when you start having a necrosis or brown spots in the middle, that means that there's some kind of cellular damage going as soon as the water comes on. So what this tells me is that this probably wasn't watered for a while. And then all of a sudden you blasted with all this water, and then the cells here try to bring the water all through, and it kind of causes it to burst. It's called edema. And edema you see by all of the brown dieback in the middle, and then it radiates to the outside. Now this is kind of like a similar thing, but this hasn't been watered. So think about it. This is a leaf from the ficus. The outer edges of the leaf are the furthest away from the root of the tree, which is where the water comes from. So here comes the water. Well, this hasn't been watered. So the outside margins are starting to die back. So this is not good. This is not good. But now you know what is good and what a ficus likes in order to thrive. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them underneath here. I always check them. And watch me on the Home and Family Show weekdays on the Hallmark Channel. And I discuss everything that's awesome under the sun. Bye, friends.